IEF-IGU Ministerial Gas Forum. Minister, His Excellency Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will now give you the concluding statement from the Ministerial. Your Excellency, the floor is yours, sir.
Mr. San, Secretary General IEF, Mr. David Carroll, President IGU, Sanjay Sudhir, Joint Secretary IC, MOPNG, friends from media. Under the theme Gas for Growth, Improving Economic Prosperity and Living Standards was successfully deepened our dialogue today. And the role of gas enable an orderly energy transition that strengthens energy security, stimulates economic growth, and enhances healthy energy market functioning, prosperity, and well-being globally. We value and appreciate the efforts of IEF and IGU to advance our ministerial dialogue with industry stakeholders on the functioning of gas markets. As we seek to embrace the age of gas, we have heard views from producer, consumer countries and industry in 3 sessions on gas for growth and sustainability, regional gas markets, new prospects for trade and integration, and policy trends for investment across regions. After the recently held 15th IEF Ministerial Energy Forum, and against the background of Event 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the landmark Paris Agreement, we have learned how gas resource and technology can stimulate sustainable growth, diversify economies, improve air quality, keep global warming within agreed threshold, and achieve global goals. The findings of our discussion that were framed by IEF and IGU background papers are reflected in concluding statements of this 5th IEF and IGU Ministerial Conclave. We take note that, on one hand, the future of gas is bright considering 21st century demographics that require economic prosperity and living standards to increase across society. But that, on the other hand, established policies and business models require closer consideration in light of current energy market projections. Therefore, we strengthen our commitment to IEF producer-consumer dialogue and welcome initiative to ensure gas can make an optimal contribution to a healthy energy future through a rolling dialogue and enhanced gas market transparency in the joint organization of data initiative. Thank you, friends.
And I call the Secretary General of the International Energy Forum, Dr. Sun Sanchen.
Your Excellency Minister, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to visit India, and by the invitation of His Excellency, the Sri Dharmendra and the Pradhan, Minister of the State of the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas of the Republic of India, IEF, IGU, we held the meeting here. And this meeting is very successful. This in total, we have 3 international organizations join this. That's the IEF, IGU, and also GECF. This is the gas exporting organization. And also this time we invite 7 ministers to join us for this meeting. So make this level very high level for the gas meeting. And this time also we have 3 very experienced well-known moderators. Daniel Yojin, who is the energy advisor to the President Obama and Trump. And another one is very senior. The advisor is Dr. Fishraki, who is the chairman of IEF-IGU. And now, he about 30 years ago, he was the advisor to Iran Prime Minister. Yeah, so he's a very senior for the oil market and for pricing analysis and others, oil and gas, and also for the oil products. And another one is Mr. Nobuo Tanaka, and who is the executive director of the IEA, International Energy Administration. So by their support, and then these panels discussions are very good, and they ask a lot of the discussions. So by these three sessions, and then the meeting is very successful, and discuss the issues about the gas function. And as we know that the gas, although is one of the kind of this fossil fuel, but the function of gas will be more than people expected, longer and important. So this is the issue. And also discuss about this how the gas will develop and what's the impacts for this the industry, for the market, and also what kind of the models they will need, and for what is the investment for the infrastructures, and also how to further expand the importance and use of this gas. So about the market and also the government policies and these issues. I think the discussion is very successful. And IEF is the international governmental organization, and we try to offer the good service for the producers and the consumers. Maybe I use 1 minute here to elaborate a little bit about the IEF. And IEF is the intergovernmental organization, covers 72 member countries, and including the OPEC. The OPEC, as you know, that 14 member countries, and 13 with IEF, and only one, Libya, not there. And Libya, the government write me a letter early this year, and then it's under the parliamentary process now. So after the parliament approval, and then they can join the IEF. So this is the OPEC 14 countries with this. And for the IEA, in total 29 countries. With this, about 28 countries with this. And for BRICS, everybody maybe are familiar, there are 5 countries. Now the India, China, the Brazil, South America, and also Russia with this. Only the Brazil, and now Brazil Parliament is under the process. So after this approval, and then Brazil with this, so you can see this all these the big countries, producers, consumers, and the transmitters. We pipeline these countries with this. So this is about the IEF. So we offer the service for the producers and the consumers, and we improve the transparency of this, and we try our best to offer a good service and to guarantee the improve the security supply for this energy. So this is about the IEF, and I thank you very much and to support us for this the successful meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sun. May I call upon David Carroll, the President of the International Gas Union.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm David Carroll. Just allow me just a brief minute. The International Gas Union is an organization that's active in 91 countries, representing 97% of the world's production, transportation, and use of natural gas. And this 85-year-old organization is dedicated to the economic, technical, and political progress for the gas industry. And I'm proud to be sharing the stage this afternoon with Minister Pradhan and Dr. Sun, as well as we are proud at IGU to be sharing now our 5th ministerial forum with the IEF. And we couldn't have picked a better time or a better location than India. We heard yesterday your Prime Minister Modi outline a very succinct and well thought out strategic priorities for your energy plan going forward. that dealing with enhanced access, improved energy efficiency, sustainability in your energy mix for the long term, and of course, enhanced security of supply. And we believe that natural gas can play a critical role in India in delivering on those key priorities. This was a valuable forum. We identified many of the challenges and a great number of opportunities for natural gas, serving not just this country, this region, but around the world. And I think we came up with some very interesting paths forward to help this very important fuel, that being natural gas, to fuel the future, delivering both economic value to our fellow citizens and countries around the world, and also be responsible stewards of the environment. So we thank you for being here, thank you for your attention, and we look forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll. Okay, we have time for a few questions just now. Those of you who wish to ask a question, please raise your hand, and the hostess at the back has a microphone she'll present to you. Before asking your question, would you please identify yourself, your affiliation, and then direct your question? Thank you. First in the front row, please.
Hello, sir. I'm from the Hindu Business Line. Mr. Carroll, where do you see gas prices going in the medium to long term? We are expecting crude price to go up. Do you expect a similar movement for gas price? And also, is there a number that a consumer country like India should be prepared for?
That's a good question. You know, we're not in the business of predicting gas prices. I think many people have gone broke trying to predict the future in terms of energy prices going forward. I will say that what we've seen over the last 5 to 10 years is a dramatic increase in supplies, both with shale gas in North America, tremendous new discoveries off the coast of East Africa, tremendous new discoveries in the Eastern Mediterranean, the re-engagement of major gas suppliers such as Iran into the mix. So I think the future is bright in terms of having adequate amounts of affordable, available natural gas to serve growing markets. In many respects, one might ask the question, is there going to be sufficient demand in order to justify development of all these great resources? So I think India is at a very fortunate time to be dramatically increasing its economy, increasing its energy consumption at a time when the supplies of affordable energy should be there for them to do that.
Thank you. Is it in the second row? Thank you very much.
So I'm Devjit from Bloomberg. There is a question to the minister. At the Petrotech session earlier today, RasGas, who is a big supplier of LNG to India, the CEO raised a suggestion that India should try and include LNG or natural gas in the GST. So is it one thing that you would like to consider?
I have not heard this view, but in toto there is a unanimity in petroleum hydrocarbon industry. All the products should be included in GST, but it needs to be consulted among the GST Council. As an industry, as a policy ministry, I am of this opinion. GST Council should consider it hydrocarbon industry, not only LNG. All the hydrocarbon products should come the purview of GST. That will create a level playing field, and that will create a good vibe for the energy commodity in the hydrocarbon.
Thank you. We have time for another 2 or 3 more questions. If anybody, no volunteers? Thank you very much. Then, oh, sorry, we have one more question in the front.
If the GST Council will consider, would you also like to suggest the slab in which hydrocarbon products should be placed?
It's primarily on the purview of GST Council. What will be the slab? When the industry will be discussing with them, they may suggest something, but primarily it is the GST Council's role how to fix the slab.
Thank you very much. Oh, sorry, we have one more question in the second row.
So today morning at a Petrotech session, some speakers were talking about developing India as a primary gas hub. What kind of steps we need to take to develop India? Because we are currently dependent on many other gas pricing index like Henry Hub and all. But
I should answer?
yes,
But they can answer.
anyone can answer.
This very meeting, the 5th IEF and IGU Ministerial Gas Forum meeting, is the evidence of how keen India is to create a gas market. Yesterday in the inaugural speech, Honorable Prime Minister had laid down the whole strategy, how we are focused on gas market. Let me put very strongly one point. India is moving towards a gas-based economy. We need all-round development in all the aspects, from availability, from the production, the gas infrastructure, the new market, the new tax mechanism. In every aspect, industry and all the stakeholders are intensely discussing and debating the whole gas, different aspect of gas economy, and we are keen. And as a government, we are assuring the different stakeholders, government is taking lot of reforms to create a gas-based market.
Sir, another major important point here is that India hasn't been able to develop this gas hub because we do not have a regular supply demand kind of a market. Like Russia has developed this. China is taking gas from Russia through pipelines. We haven't been able to develop any pipelines which can bring gas to India. I mean, there have been a lot of talks in past also. Don't you feel that pipeline could be a major change that can take India to become a gas hub?
Let us not equate with another country. Yesterday we have categorically stated India has to develop its own model. We are developing our own model. Yes, if I can put two statistics in front of you. Till now, India has a capacity of 21 million metric ton of regasification capacity. We are augmenting that up to another 35 million metric ton. That means in the next 2-3 years, India will be having a capacity of more than 56 million metric ton regasification capacity. It's not proposed, it's all are in a different stage. Some regasification capacity will add on in the next few months, and some of them will be take some few years, within the next 2-3 years. And in the Eastern India, the Pradhan Mantri Urja Ganga is the primary evidence, the biggest evidence of our gas priority. We are investing from the government treasury. For the first time, government is investing money in the pipeline, and 2,500 kilometers of trunk pipeline is building in the eastern part of India, starting from Jagdishpur to Haldia, and another pipeline from Bokaro to Dhamra. And we are focusing on pipeline and other infrastructures.
Okay. Can you wait for the microphone, please, sir?
So at the inaugural speech today morning, you said that there's a need that the consumers should come together, LNG consumers should come together. How do you think that IGU and IEF can help you? And what is your ultimate aim? Because most of the big consumers are housed in Asia. How do you plan to go ahead in that?
No, in market there is no ultimate aim. Every day there is an aim, and we have to achieve that, and it's an evolutionary process. The very meeting, again I am politely saying, this meeting is focusing on the Indian market. The very topic we have chosen today for the economic empowerment and the modern livelihood, how gas can contribute. And we are committed to create a gas-based market, and whatever we have to, from the tax, from the augmentation of production, from the import of LNG, infrastructure, lot of things has to be, have already done, and lot of things more has to be done. We have to focus, and gradually we have to develop a gas market, and specific Asia. There is no doubt this kind of conference is a clear indication how Asia is very important for the gas market. The next 25 years, incremental hydrocarbon requirement will be in the Asia. And the oil and gas is the commodity. So this is India, China, Korea, Japan, these are the area. And some other small countries, they are the area where gas market is emerging. And our new Secretary General, Dr. Son, he is from Asia. He is there to look into our demand and expectation, Asia as a group.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for your time.
I have one question, please. Make this the last question.
Last one, please.
My question is in two parts. First part is for IGU and the second part is for the Honorable Minister. First part is how will the OPEC deal affect gas prices, because already there are indications that LNG prices, gas prices are rising. And the second part of the question is, if gas prices rise, how will it affect the government's plan to develop a gas-based economy?
Yeah, we had an earlier question about the gas pricing, and I declined to predict. But what I will say is, yes, it's clear that a majority of gas trade currently is linked to oil prices, but that percentage is decreasing. We are seeing more supplies, if you will, a democratization of gas supply going on around the world. And in those regions, we are seeing trends of a decoupling between natural gas pricing and oil prices in many respects. Increasingly, because there is more gas supply going into the market, more liquefied natural gas or LNG availability from a number of new regions, including Australia, US, and so forth, we are seeing greater abundance and thus downward pressure on spot prices, which is giving buyers more flexibility and more options as they contemplate their future supply strategies.
My answer is I need all of your cooperation. Don't let us not jump. What will happen when price will go up? In the new market mechanism, as the very reassuring statement is given by President IGU, in the future there is abundant availability of LNG. So for a longer period, all experts are citing experience, and their prediction is that so for a longer period there will be a moderate LNG price structure. When I am talking about moderate, that means sometime it will be up, sometime it will be down also. But it will be affordable, it will be moderate. When we are moving towards a bigger market, when we be moving towards a more beneficiary, more consumers, we have to adopt the market mechanism. Rightly, India has adopted the market mechanism on the product pricing. LNG is already linked to the natural gas, is already linked to the international market price. And to create a gas market for the day-to-day consumers, whether it is PNG or city-based transportation, in India we have prioritized that commodity as number one, and that is in a way linked to the domestic gas price formula. Today that is a little bit lesser than the international LNG price.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. Members of the press, thank you very much for your time. The conference is now closed. Thank you.